as the Canadians now win the tip and the game starts. And for the Canadians, Carlos, this is a culmination of their mission. Just getting that one of two spots in the Olympic Games as Andrew Wiggins misses. And Bennett struggles for a rebound, and he's stripped by the Venezuelans. It comes off their hands, though. It'll go back to Canada with 12 seconds to shoot. Nestor Garcia has been trying to get Venezuela only its second Olympic berth and the first one in 24 years. The Canadians have waited long as well. It's been 16 years as Andrew Wiggins scores the first points of the game.
He's going to the low post, taking advantage of his height against the guy who was guarding him.
How things change. Venezuela leads this series 7-6 in hemispheric play only, including the early tournaments of the Americas. Canada winning the latest, of course, in the first round by 20, 82-62. Vargas, the captain, misses, rebounded by Corey Joseph. Now, this is also, Carlos, a tremendous contrast of styles. You've mentioned already that Canadians like to run. It's an up-tempo game. That's the one they feel most comfortable, and that's the one that gives them an advantage. That's an up and under by Olynyk. Draws the foul from Windy Graterol. But for Venezuela, it's the other way around. It's slow. It's actually the slowest pace of the entire tournament, in quite a contrast. And so visually, you'll be able to see, if we see the teams go up and down the court, well, then the Canadians are feeling their oats. If not, it's the Venezuelans who are trying to control the game.
That's exactly right. And the first the offensive transition by Venezuela, by Canada, Venezuela did a very good job in defensive balance here, forcing them to play half-court offense, but Olynyk was able to draw the foul and get to the free throw line.
Look at that smile. He's the second most senior member of this team, and we're talking about a team that has an average age of 23.8 years of age. That is the most remarkable stat, I think, of this Canadian team, that on every statistical category is head and shoulders above the other 7 teams that made this second round, as the ball comes out of the hands of Vargas, and Nestor Colmenares can't make the chippy.
Venezuela 0 for 3 so far. That's not a very good way to start a game against an explosive team like Canada.
Bennett misses, and the rebound comes off the hands of Olynyk. Carlos, the other contrast here is between one of the tallest teams in the tournament and Nestor Che Garcia's Vinotinto from Venezuela, who happens to be one of the shortest teams in the tournament. And that's the particular challenge of the Venezuelans.
Especially trying to dominate the boards against a team that has been doing that to everybody, every opposition.
Venezuela has been pretty good on the boards, as we see Graterol making the three. Now, that's not typically what he does, but they've been trying. This is an interesting part, and I wanted to ask you about this, Carlos. Venezuela, of the 4 teams in the semis, as Olynyk makes the three. Now all the big men are getting into this three-point game. Venezuela takes the most three-point shots as a proportion of their overall offense than any of the other 3 teams in the semis, and yet they have by far the lowest shooting percentage, Canada having the best.
Well, I'm going to tell you why. They take those three-point shots at the end of long possessions with 3 or 4 seconds on the shot clock usually.
Nice runner by Graterol off the pass by Gregory Vargas.
So there's a lot of pressure on them to make those shots. While Canada, they play that freelance style where they're shooting the first 10 seconds of the possession, knowing that they have a great advantage on the boards also if they miss.
Nice scouting. There's a foul, though, before on Joseph. But, Carlos, we've seen Corey Joseph time and time again be more comfortable as a right-handed driver, finishing with his left. The Venezuelans forced him right.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
That tells you a little bit of why Venezuela is where they are. Tremendous preparation for a team that really doesn't have an outstanding star. They play very well as a unit, very cohesive. As we have a substitution back again in action after a twisted ankle is Javier Vargas, this young 25-year-old. What a story in this tournament. It's the classic Cinderella story, right?
Yes,
Don't tell me he's wearing glass slippers right now.
A guy that was averaging less than 4 minutes per game playing for Trotamundos de Carabobo in the professional league, and was thinking about retirement at 25 years of age.
Because he wasn't getting any play.
Exactly.
Inside out, a little surprise for Olynyk, and he misses an open shot, and Vargas takes the rebound.
They call him Javi. He's a very good shooter from outside, and he was instrumental in the win that Venezuela had against Puerto Rico with 3 3-pointers coming off the bench.
And he launches one right now, and he makes it. And now Venezuela takes an early 8-7 lead.
Right on cue.
And by the way, we have 3 Vargas on the court, but only 2 are brothers, number 5, number 10. Javi is not a direct relation of the SO2, as we see the putback by Nick Stauskas, who's been having an absolutely wonderful tournament for Team Canada.
Good timing by Stauskas, and Coach Garcia is livid because his man didn't box him out.
Anthony Bennett guarding Colmenares, who's, again, not a three-point threat, but you still have to respect it. And the Venezuelans like that too, Carlos. They need to get some open lanes, like this one by Vargas as he makes the shot on a hesitation move against Joseph. So we have another lead change early in this game. Now, of course, the Canadians have another advantage here, Carlos. Not necessarily in numbers, because both teams can put out 10 players, as Steve Nash, the GM of the Canadian team, cheers on Andrew Wiggins make. But the Canadians have that size and athleticism that can come off the bench with 5 new guys. Venezuela will use 5 others. You'll see them switch in and out of this game.
Yeah, but there's a big difference in quality when you have to go deep into the bench. As a matter of fact, Canada can use 12 players. The whole roster, as we see young Cox driving to the basket and getting the bucket.
He's one of the Venezuelan veterans, the first cousin of Kobe Bryant, but born in Venezuela when his father was playing there. You'll see another Venezuelan player with that kind of a background as Olynyk drives all the way against Vargas, and that's a matchup that Canada will take any day now.
That's something that they can exploit.
Cox, 34 years old, plays in the French Pro A League. Comes to Venezuela in the summers to play for the Vino Tinto. Takes a tough shot, and he makes the basket, gets the foul, and he will go to the line. He got a little hit in his hand along the way.
Again, Venezuela playing long possessions, but not as long as we have seen them in other games where they get down to 4 seconds on the shot clock. They're trying to attack with 8 seconds, around 8 seconds.
And we're seeing a lot more ISOs in this early part of the game that surprised us, really.
Well, definitely they are trying to take advantage of whatever matchup they can win. And there are not that many when you see that this Canadian team and Venezuelan team. But Cox seems like he's very confident that he can take his man to the basket.
Why not? In his last game against Panama, he had his best outing with 21 points, 6 rebounds, and he made 100% of his free throws as he complete the three-point play, and Venezuela's up by 2. Wiggins again posting up individual brilliance here, and he misses a rebound. Isn't Vargas, and he kind of chucked it up, but Gregory Vargas picks it up. Oh, Javinger just lost the handle. Here comes a 2-on-1. Oh, what a move by Gregory Vargas.
Great play in 2-on-1.
Great concentration. Bad pass, though, as it really was a no-look pass to John Cox. He did everything great except finish that play, as David Guillent will come in and Vargas will take a seat. Graterol back into the game.
Great steal by Vargas, as you just said. In those possessions, Venezuela had 2 turnovers and Canada had 1.
For those of you looking at Nestor Garcia for the first time, he is directing his 3rd national team. He, of course, coaches native Argentina. He's from Bahia Blanca. And then he coached the Uruguayan national team, and now he's in Venezuela doing wonders. We see a little shuffle of feet, and head referee Reynaldo Mercedes does the arm roll.
Olynyk thought that he was pushed by Graterol, and that's the reason why he traveled.
He did lose the ball for a moment. Horns for Venezuela. Stauskas going right behind the screen. A lot of dribble for Cox.
Yeah, that's the matchup that I was talking to you about, that he feels that he's very comfortable attacking Stauskas.
And he comes up a little with a little limp, little ankle hurt, as we see Guillent commit the foul before the shot.
And even though Cox missed that shot, they have a point. That's another scouting report by Coach, a good scouting report by Coach Garcia and his assistants. Maybe the less efficient defensive player in the perimeter that Canada has is Stauskas, because he cannot, or he's not willing to slide his feet as quickly as he takes to stop a guy driving to the basket.
Well, he just slid his feet to the bench as Brady Heissler just came in for Canada, another one of those incredible shooters. This team has 43% as a team from behind the arc. I know it's a shorter arc, the FIBA arc, but still, as we see Olynyk.
Feeling it right now.
Oh, yeah. He's had some great games in the tournament, and then towards the end, he got into foul trouble a couple of games ago. He wasn't needed in another game. You wonder if he's a little bit out of rhythm, but now he's showing he's back on the saddle again as Vargas just grazes the rim. Joseph going left, handing off to Wiggins, and that easy, Carlos. Is that a fast break officially or not?
Well, it took, what, 4 or 5 seconds?
There were some 3 minutes well underneath the basket, but it sure looked like a fast break.
Well, they're trying to attack as quickly as possible. They got a basket in the primary break, so it's a fast break.
Tremendous. That's been their game all tournament long. The secondary break's very good. The offensive rebound, if it's not there. And they're getting much better also at the plain half court. Gatterol may have had his quota of threes.
Well, you see that he took that shot with 1 second on the shot clock. That's what we were talking about.
Guillent, but there's a foul before, and it's going to be on the screener, not on Joseph trying to fight the screen, not on the screener. So that is Corey's first, the Canadian captain. Yeah, 9 seconds in that case to shoot. Changes. The other native Karakan, Dwight Lewis, and also Heissler Guillent. They call him El Sastre, the tailor. And he's made some incredible end of possession and end of quarter shots so far in this tournament. Really, Carlos, always a good player, but he stepped it up in this tournament.
But check how Canada is going to be guarding Guillent. They're going to force him to his left in every single possession.
As he tries his shot and misses.
Another three-point shot with 1 second on the shot clock. That's the reason what I was saying, that they take so long that they take forced three-pointers at the end of the possessions.
And they're very good at offensive rebounding as such. As Gatterol drives the basket, he gets the roll, and it's Corey Joseph's second foul.
There's a drive by Gatterol, who already has a three-point shot, and now he might get 3 points from the free throw line now after making a good drive to the basket.
Phil Scruggs had a wonderful tournament. There's no other way to describe it. We talk about a team that's loaded with young NBA talent. He doesn't seem out of place here.
No, he's not an NBA player, but he's a high-level player. He plays for AAK.
Athens.
In Athens.
And he may become an NBA player at this point. Again, the second unit for Canada is just an extension of the first. At times we've seen him play better as Melvin Ejim does a little up and under. He's blocked by Colmenares. They call him La Bestia, the Beast. Guillent early in this offense with only 20 seconds to go, and you can see Garcia.
He doesn't like that.
Disappointed. Olynyk driving, shooting, and scoring that easily against Gatterol.
Yeah, it looks very easily for him.
Trying to avoid fouling Olynyk, who's a very good foul shooter. Now we have 2 point guards in Guillent and Guillent together for Venezuela.
Motion offense now by Venezuela. Trying to run some time off the clock before they go to the basket.
Now 5 to shoot. Over to Lewis. Gets a little closer, and with 2 seconds, the ball bounces off the rim. We're going to keep track of that, Carlos, as a matter of rhythm, as the Canadians get inside quickly, and there's a foul by Lewis. Only 7 seconds into the Canadian possession, he was about to shoot. Quite the contrast here.
Well, what they have been able to do is make this first quarter one of less possessions than usual. But what they haven't been able to do is stop Canada from running.
Easier said than done. As Aaron Dornekamp, the most senior member of this senior men's national team for Canada, comes in. Miguel Ruiz comes in for Venezuela. Carlos, Miguel Ruiz, for many, has been a revelation. They've seen him play in the Venezuelan league for many years. But how productive is that young man, especially on the offensive boards?
He had a game of 17 rebounds against the Dominican Republic.
In about 22 minutes of play.
And they needed every one of those rebounds to win that game.
Ejim hesitates against a smaller Guillent. Heslip, misses a 3. One-arm rebound for Ejim. Scrub launches now. And it's over Olynyk. Here comes Guillent. Those were open shots.
Oh, somebody forgot about Vargas.
The ball is tipped over to Lewis. Early shot by Venezuelan standards, and it goes off the rim, picked up by Dornekamp.
I know Canada can play 2-for-1 if they attack the basket quickly.
Ejim does, but the rebound is in the hands of Gregory Vargas. And he takes it all the way with a foul at the end by Ejim. He will go to the line with 26 seconds on the clock.
Very entertaining first quarter. And Vargas just surprised everybody with
They're doing a lot of hesitation work with the dribble.
And he attacked, even though he was among giants there. There were like 3 Canadians surrounding him.
Venezuela's average height is 1.94 m, which is about 6'4". Team Canada's average height is 2.1 m. That's about 6'7".
That's right.
That's quite the difference.
There's a big difference there.
And he makes the free throw. And he breaks the tie at 19. Guillent is back in. You've wondered, wait, Guillent was just out. And Vargas just came in for a couple minutes. That's part of the deal here with Heissler Garcia. Constant shuffling. It serves 2 purposes. Keeps the team fresh, obviously, but also if you make a mistake, you're out. It keeps the focus. Keeps you honest.
Keep pressing. He will try to keep pressing them full court, the Canadians.
Make them work the clock, which they typically would rather not.
But in these possessions, they want to because they want to take the last shot of the quarter.
Oh, Scrub lost the ball along the way, but then it changes hands, and Heissler launches at the end. The ball graces the rim, and that is the end of, as you said, a highly entertaining first quarter. Venezuela leads by the minimum, and Heissler Garcia says, I like what I'm watching. Some interesting points in which we'll talk as the game allows. But right now, we're back to action alongside former Puerto Rico national team head coach Carlos Morales. I am Alvaro Martin. Welcome back to this Final Four, the semifinals of the 2015 Olympic qualifier for the Americas. Guillent slipped. 6 to shoot. Step back shot by Gregory Vargas. Way off. And that's why their shooting percentage is low.
Exactly.
They're not great shooters. And sometimes the shots are forced. But I'll tell you what, Carlos, Canada has to respect that shot. And that's why they're spreading their defense out, stretching it out to way past the three-point line. And that may be allowing some dribble penetration by the Venezuelans.
Canada with this so-called second unit, because this is no second unit for anybody.
Nicholson, turnaround shot, left hand, in and out. Rebounded by Miguel Ruiz.
They have 5 players that didn't start the game right now. And Coach Triano is very confident that these guys can keep the pace or even improve it for his team.
Nicholson's done a great job the last couple of games on behalf of the Canadians. Again, 7 to shoot. The drive, the stop. Again, doesn't even draw iron. He claims he was hit. Here comes Canada. Stop the quick early offense. And now a foul by Dwight Lewis on Melvin Edgem, who really took position on him.
Yeah, he had a position, inside position, so he had to hold him to avoid Egypt getting an easy basket.
Another sub. Cox is in. Gregory Vargas is out. Cox already with 5 points in 7 minutes of play. No score for the Canadians in 2 minutes of play. The foul is on Ruiz. Again, let me remind you, Canada has the best offensive efficiency of the entire tournament, 127 points per 100 possessions. Venezuela next to last at 98, a 30-point per 100 possession difference in offensive capability. Now, defensively, the Canadians also top the list with 100 points per 100 possessions, but Venezuela's right behind them at 102. So that's Venezuela's calling card. Defense and then slowing down offense and trying to muddy up the game, hopefully get themselves within a possession or two, if not in the lead at the end of the game.
That's right. Not let these Canadians run away from them like it happened in the first game that they played.
Inside to Edgem, and a foul by Vargas.
Jose Vargas accepts the foul, but at the same time tells the referee, hey, look for his elbow, because he hit me, and it wasn't an elbow, it wasn't with his hand.
His forearm. As Melvin Edgem, who signed a contract with the Orlando Magic, he will be joining Andrew Nicholson, his teammate right here, the ones who just slapped hands in the Orlando preseason camp, hoping to stay in the NBA. This young man in 2012 went to the Nigerian national team, as his parents are Nigerian, and their tryouts. He didn't stay in the tryout, never really played for Nigeria. I guess Nigeria's loss is Canada's gain.
That's right.
Wonderful player, all around, by the way, and a surprising rebounder. Very productive on both ends. Cox, three-point shot.
Another three-pointer at the end of the possession.
And then look at the offensive rebound. That's Venezuela. Every loose ball, every 50-50 ball, there's going to be at least one Venezuelan getting themselves a little dirty on the floor. Another effort, another opportunity. Offensive rebounds becoming an issue. And Vargas throws the ball off Dornekamp's chest. I'm sure Aaron didn't appreciate that.
Well, he pushed Vargas first, and Vargas was going to go out of bounds. And he said, well, if you don't call the push, I'm going to have to throw the ball off him.
The Canadians are grabbing, listen to this, 60% of available offensive rebounds. I'm sorry, 60% of all rebounds, I should say. Venezuela's third, right behind them. On offensive rebounding, Canada's first with 38%. That's huge. But Venezuela's second. And they live off them.
Yep.
Bennett will come in, edge him out. They're looking for that rebounding. They're maybe a little short on the defensive rebounding department as Dwight Lewis will launch a three, and he makes the three, and Venezuela is back on top by 2.
Yeah, Venezuela with a very, very small lineup right now. They have one strong forward and 4 guards out there.
Heissler. Tough shot, but he's good. And you were talking about Brady Heissler's reputation and what he's showing in this tournament.
Yeah, Heissler is a great shooter, but nobody knew that he could put the ball on the floor like this. He's been driving to the basket, creating situations for himself or for his teammates.
Lewis loses the handle. Here comes Scrub, but he doesn't have numbers. Let's see what Vargas does against him. Wow, the left-handed drive, last-minute right-handed switcheroo, and a nice touch off the roll. And a loose ball gets intercepted by Heissler, and he's fouled by Venezuela. And that is another element of Brady Heissler's game that is showing up here in Mexico. And we'll go back now to Cantu in the Italian league.
Jose Vargas was too casual there trying to get the ball back to the point guard, not knowing that Heissler was hanging around.
The most dangerous spot to see a guard is after his team has scored and you take the ball inbounds and he's already 3/4 court towards you. He's aiming to steal because he can recover if he misses. The specialist of that, when you watch the NBA and in FIBA basketball, is Paolo Prigioni.
That's right.
He quietly stands there right by the free throw line, and if you're not watching, he'll go for the steal. That's exactly what Heissler did. What a tournament for Brady, who was invited at the last minute to join his teammates in the Pan American Games in Toronto, where Canada ended up with a silver medal. Brady has shot 45% from behind the arc. Interestingly enough, only 31% inside the arc and 75 from the free throw line. He makes 1 of 2, and now the Canadians are up by 3.
Oh, Colmenares was open for the moment, but he didn't cut to the basket on time.
He looked to do a pocket pass, but he traveled. Guillent traveled.
It's unbelievable how different Guillent is when they force him to his left. They force him to go left, and then he switches his pivot foot there.
And again, you make a mistake if you're in Venezuela, you go to the bench. Wiggins drives against Cox, and he's short. He leads the Canadians in scoring in this tournament, averaging almost 16 points per game, 15.5 points per game. Let's see, anybody willing to give a pick? Here comes Gatterol. Here goes the pick. And he rolls to the basket.
He rolled to the basket.
And Cox is in. He rattles it in. So 1 point Canadian lead. Maybe John Cox's Spanish is not that good.
No, I'm talking about the screener. Gatterol. It was in Spanish. The instructions was in Spanish. He needs to step back.
Olynyk ISO'd against Windy. Driving left, just that easy for him. Supremely talented. Remember, he was a point guard through high school. And then a growth spurt made his coaches kind of put him under the rim. But he hasn't lost the touch. As a matter of fact, you see him here, Carlos, very, very early on the court, practicing his dribbling.
Now he pops out Graterol after the screen. And that's what he wants. Either a handoff or to drive to the basket.
And here comes the drive by Guillent, but it's blocked by a couple of Canadians, and Olynyk takes a rebound. Cross court to Heissler, and a foul by John Cox to stop the fast break. Carlos, for those who don't know Venezuelan basketball, what you're watching Venezuela play right now is not what Venezuela perhaps played about 5 or 6 years ago.
Quite the opposite. I mean, and quite the opposite of what they play in the local league, where they play up and down basketball, very similar to what Canada is trying to do, but not as organized as Canada does it.
Nor as accomplished, nor as with great shooters.
Right. So a good game for in Venezuelan leagues is usually 110 to 100. And now we're watching something completely different to what they are used to. And that's a tribute to their coach.
Again, these players basically play this way for about a month and a half all year.
That's right.
And they throw the switch.
Unless they play for Nestor or for Duro with Marinos de Oriente.
These are two Argentine coaches in the Venezuelan league. Tough shot, and it's good! You know, the Mexican players yesterday went to the Basilica of the Guadalupe in Mexico City. I think the Venezuelans, maybe Nestor Colmenares tagged along. Look at that prayer.
Yeah.
Answered.
That's
And
right.
the foul by Bennett. So Nestor will go to the line. Nestor has been not a revelation. There's no surprise here. But when you consider the paucity of bigs for Venezuela and the fact that a couple of them were out of this tournament.
Well, Colmenares would have been coming out of the bench. If, for instance, Echenique would have been available and Dante Smith would be available, he wouldn't be even a starter for this team.
Playing for...
Oh, what a block shot by Graterol there.
And they fight for the ball. Again, the loose balls. The Venezuelans are not shy about them. Cross-court pass to Stauskas. Open three.
That's an offensive foul here.
Offensive foul, says Steve Anderson. We'll listen in now. We'll watch. It is on Bennett. And that is 2 quick fouls on Bennett right now.
That was away from the ball. I mean,
Yeah.
the ball has been cross-court. Let's watch Bennett after all the scramble here.
The hubbub.
There's nothing there. Now they get the ball back.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Yeah, he went. He aimed at
No need for that, I'm telling you.
Guillent's head.
Stauskas was wide open.
No way, Garrett's going to make 2 threes. He does.
He had 2 against Puerto Rico.
He went to the Basilica.
And now Venezuela back in the lead by 2.
Scrub. Wiggins, an open 3. It's
he's
good. The efficiency of movement, the efficiency of his offensive game is remarkable, and he's only 20.
He seems he's quiet, hiding. It's almost like Canada is playing 5-on-4 until the ball gets to him.
He's got the perfect personality for FIBA basketball as a star, Carlos, as a star.
Yeah.
As a capable, athletic player, perfect fit for FIBA basketball. What a find. How lucky is Canada? Oh, tough shot at the last minute. And Bennett grabs the rebound, but it's even tapped out of his hands. Scrub, cross court. Olynyk lines up a 3. Yes.
He's been doing everything for Canada so far. Now he's got 16 points in the players' movement. But if the shot clock gets to 5 seconds, he wants them to drive to the basket and try to draw the foul.
In other words, the Venezuelan version of early offense. Only 5 seconds to shoot.
Right.
Little motion offense to get started. And here's the pick by Colmenares.
And that's what the coach wants, the ball to Colmenares there. And now he has to attack the basket. That's what coach wants.
But when you signal the cut to the cutter, the Canadians know that too, and Olynyk grabs the rebound. Look at that, Carlos. He is 2-13. Look at that. A foul by Colmenares. But the ball completely protected and controlled.
Well, he used to be a point guard.
Amazing. Maybe Brad Stevens should come up with some point center moves with the Celtics. As Kelly will go to the line.
That's another thing about this kid, or this guy already. Great coaching in college and great coaching in NBA. He played for Gonzaga and Mark Few, and then he went to the NBA and he's been coached by Stevens, who was a great college coach with Butler.
West Coast Conference Player of the Year in 2013. Drafted 13th overall, but shipped that night to the Celtics by the Mavs. And he joined this team, Carlos, in 2010. He went to Turkey for the World Basketball Championships, as they were known then, now World Cup of Basketball. Against the zone, here comes the drive by Lewis, inside out, but great closeout by Scrub. Cox misses, and again another rebound for Olynyk. He's collecting them. They're going out of style. 18 points and 4 boards for him. A strip by Gatterol. Nice run out by Vargas. He really beat the defensive transition by the Canadians, and you don't see that too often in Mexico City. Pressure on the ball carrier. Make Canada feel uncomfortable in the waning seconds of a possession. First pass at 14. And an effort and a strip by Gatterol.
Yeah, Gatterol doing it on the defensive end now.
In and out. Here comes Cox for the 3.
Ooh.
Rebounded by Olynyk. Olynyk's going to have a double-double before the end of the half. 2 minutes to go.
He already has 18 points.
Wiggins in and out. Contact and an offensive foul by Kelly Olynyk as he crashes onto La Bestia.
See, Colmenares read that move perfectly.
It's the 4th team foul by the Canadians. And a turnover.
He was right there, Colmenares was.
In case the referee missed it, I think Garcia's explaining what happened on that play. We've talked about how they quickly shuffle players, Carlos, but the rotation today is a little tighter than usual for Venezuela.
Well, yeah, they have.
Because this is the only game that matters, really.
Right, they have used 9 players so far.
But a few for a couple of minutes, just a couple of pops on the court. No Miguel Marriaga, for example, on this game, who's battled a bulging disc in his back and whose offensive game is very, very limited.
Again, won't be able to go right. Don't even try it, is what Scrub is telling him.
But he's setting up on the right of the court, which makes him go left. Gatterol, another 3. The tip-in by Grillito Vargas, the captain. Put back, no good. Guillent grabs the rebound and another opportunity with 14 seconds as they reset off the offensive board for 14 seconds. Lewis stepped on the line, says referee Garcia from Spain.
So Venezuela with a couple of good chances there to cut into this 4-point lead, but they couldn't do it. And Guillent was able to go right on this one because there was a good screen set on Scrub.
Beautiful shot by our FIBA production crew. Olynyk is ISO'd. Inside to a cutting Stauskas. Ball's loose. Venezuela has it.
Gatterol is doing a very good job on defense right now.
That is the Canadians' 7th turnover. 7 by Venezuela. Lewis driving left against Stauskas. Flips his hand. And Dwight Powell in the game with the rebound. A tip by Colmenares off the face of Scrub. Back into the hands of Olynyk. No, another turnover. Up ahead. They've got numbers. Inside to Grillito, and Vargas finishes for Venezuela. It's a 2-point Canadian lead.
They're fighting.
It's getting a little raggedy for Jay Triano's taste.
Yeah.
He calls a timeout.
They haven't been doing lately, and they're going to do right now, and that's they're going to get the ball to Wiggins.
As he's guarded by Vargas, and the ball goes simply out of bounds. There was some contact, no foul.
He just turned into traffic there.
Right. Again, what I like about Andrew, he's not going to worry about the refereeing, typically. Just moves on. Next play. That's the FIBA mindset.
Marriaga now on the court. Maybe he will set the pick and roll at the end.
They spread out the Canadian defense. Little cut. Marriaga in the game for the first time to screen. Guillent going left. Powell shuts any room, but he's the last one to touch it. So Venezuela will have it with 4 seconds. Now, inbounding on your basket is a Canadian specialty. Let's see what the Venezuelans do with 4 seconds to shoot.
And the Canadians better be aware that Javi Vargas is in the game because he can make a 3-pointer out of this inbound play.
In this tournament, Javier has made only 4 of 14. Here he goes. He takes the ball outside. They got to shoot. Going right is Guillent. The master of the last second shot. And the last shot of the quarter shot. So they've upped their game. The Canadian offensive efficiency is 100 and almost 130. So the impact of the Venezuelan defense, and I should say, Carlos, as we see immediately a steal after the contact off the screen on Wiggins, is that sometimes it's not just necessarily the Venezuelan defense shutting down the Canadians, but their offense hanging on to the ball for a long time and getting the Canadians out of rhythm.
Right.
So playing defense with the ball in your hands. John Cox, 3. And the tip in by Vargas, he didn't have to do that.
Exactly. He could have gotten the ball with 2 hands and just put it in.
A little anxious himself as the Venezuelans are hanging on to a 1-point lead. The same starters now for both teams. As Joseph drives and tries to get his first point of the game, he will draw the foul from Gregory Vargas. For Gregory, that's his second and the team's first.
He went left on that one, and Vargas at the end tried to strip the ball away from him and committed the foul.
So Corey will go to the line looking for his first points. Normally, Corey, captain, is averaging 10.5 points per game. And listen to this, his assist to turnover ratio. Listen to this, you doubters, and listen to this, you Toronto Raptors fans. In this tournament, of course, FIBA basketball, which is fairly unknown to him, it's 4.5 to 1.
That's very good. That's definitely very good.
In any league.
Yeah.
He's taking some steps. He's answering some questions at the point for the Canadians, but he's got to get on track, and he finally gets a point. 2 of them, actually,
yes.
And he gives the Canadians the lead. Inside to Colmenares. Beautiful pass, and here's the flush. And how did that happen?
Well,
way too easy for Windy Graterol.
Yeah, the pick and roll worked perfectly, and he just stopped right before getting to the basket and passed the ball to a cutting Graterol.
Stauskas on the curl 3. We've seen him make that shot all tournament long. Olynyk with an open 3, and it's good. Kelly Olynyk stroking it from outside.
Yeah, it's his night right now. 21 points. 21 points for him.
Making all 3 3-pointers he's attempted. As the crowd begins to fill in for the second part of a great doubleheader in Mexico City. That'll be the host Mexico against Argentina again 48 hours later. Rebound by Olynyk. And he drives all the way, changes hands at the end against Graterol.
Yeah, he can do that. You see, being a former point guard and being able to put the ball on the floor, big guys are not used to defending that. And Graterol wanted to stay with him, and it was a race that he wasn't going to win.
So the hesitation drive by Olynyk could be a very important weapon, if allowed.
Yes.
Going left, loses the handle, turned over, but here's Cox. Bad pass by Olynyk, and Cox immediately with early quick offense makes the 3.
Yeah.
Garcia will take it, but he wants the things to be slowed down.
He made him pay with after that turnover.
Oh, another interception. He doesn't have numbers, and Cox recognizes. He's got Gregory Vargas on the other side. Inside to Colmenares. Nice. Yeah, show of force here by Stauskas.
There were 3 guys around him.
Cox. It's in. Off the dribble drive.
And Venezuela takes the lead back.
If Graterol makes another 3, Carlos, you and I will know for sure he's made a deal with the devil. Wiggins, short. Struggle for the rebound. Vargas slams it off. Wiggins Olynyk stays in the court. Here comes Stauskas, open 3. Oh, he missed that one. Rarely does that. Another shot. Misses again, his third. He's missed.
Yeah.
Very unusual.
It is.
Perhaps a sign of anxiety for the Canadians.
Yeah, the longer the underdog stays close or ahead of the favorite,
the more pressure you feel.
That's right.
Although I have to say that Jay Triano has taken every opportunity to tamp down this talk about being favorites.
Yeah, well, try to make the Canadians believe that.
I mean, the country or the players?
The players. They know that they're
Oh,
the best
look
team
at that.
here.
Wiggins is short. How did that happen? Short arming a layup.
The players know that they are the best team here. I mean, there's no question about it. So they know that even though his coach may say whatever he wants to say, they are supposed to win this game.
You know, maybe Wiggins didn't want to get the contact, but Andrew doesn't have a foul. And look at Stauskas in the background, throwing his head back after missing 3 threes. Aaron Dornicamp comes in. Brady Heissler comes in. Tight defense by the Venezuelans. And Olynyk just gets closer to the
Now
rim.
the other question would be, where would Canada be in this game without Kelly and Olynyk?
We talked about Argentina being Scola dependent. Well, how about the Canadians being Olynyk dependent at this point? And again, coming off a couple of modest games, one because of foul trouble, one because of not really being needed. Making up for some lost time. Going right is Guillent, throwing up another 3. Another offensive board for the Venezuelans.
And that tells you that Canada is losing some focus on letting Guillent go to his right.
Colmenares going left, lays it in with the right, no good. Olynyk dribble drives. Almost the length of the court, launches an early 3. Oh, that's not a good shot. It's only good if you make it.
Well, exactly. He's feeling it, so he says, why not? Hit check.
Quiet expectation going on in this arena. Graterol, no way.
Yep.
Hey, there's a deal with the devil in the works
Yeah.
here, ladies and gentlemen. He's exhausted all the 3-pointers he was going to make in his life. So now it's a deal with the devil here. Graterol now with his 3rd 3 and 16 points as Brady Heissler makes a long 2.
Wow, and Gregory Vargas pushed Olynyk out of the court.
Yeah, but he
Olynyk is looking at the ref.
yeah, I mean, I think the referee, there was a foul there.
Yeah.
There was a push, no
He's
doubt.
looking at Anderson like saying, come on, man, really?
Guillent going left, but being led all the way, and he gets a continuation.
You're right about what you just said. It's not only about forcing a guy left. It's about not giving him a straight line to the basket.
That's Horacio Llama on the right and Lalo Nájera on the left. Are watching the game, 2 former NBA players from Mexico.
I mean, Olynyk didn't move his feet to help, and this is Graterol's 3rd 3-pointer of the game. I think the coach likes it. So a little bit out of sorts, Canada, on the defensive end right now. The play prior to that one, they let Guillent take a pick towards his right. And then on this one, even though they forced him left, there was no help at all.
Venezuela with 8 offensive rebounds. It's allowing them second chances. They don't necessarily make those shots. They're not leading in second chance points, but they're really making the Canadians anxious by dominating. I'll bet you if you look at ball control, how many seconds you've had the ball in this game, the Venezuelans are outdoing the Canadians by much more than the margin. Tough shot by Joseph, and it's so tough that it becomes a foul.
A charge.
That is his 3rd.
Wow.
3rd foul. So we have the first player in the game with 3 fouls. That's the captain, Corey Joseph.
Well, that 4.5 assist to turnover ratio is going to go down tonight.
As quickly Phil Scrubb comes in for him.
He's only been credited for 1 assist. He actually has 2, but Scorers Table only gave him 1. And he already has at least 2 turnovers.
And there's been more talk by Canadian players to the refereeing crew tonight than I think I've seen in the entire tournament. Guillent, again being driven left. Now screen to his right. He drives. Tough shot. Inside to Colmenares, and he's fouled. It's what Nestor said. 5 seconds ago, drive, and if there's nothing, you'll probably get fouled. Well, they didn't this time. I don't know how he found Colmenares there.
See,
the foul's on Edgem.
This is unfamiliar territory for Canada because at this stage in the other games, and that's his 3rd foul.
Yes, by Edgem.
Yeah, Edgem on his 3rd foul. By this stage, they usually are ahead by 15 or 20 points, and they're opening up the game. So that's the reason why they're a little bit nervous. They're talking to the referees and all that.
And Menarez making the shot. The three-point shooting by the Canadians is down to 33%. They've missed 8 of 12, and that's probably the number that the indicator, the quickest indicator, other than rebounds, that they're clearly off their game for whatever reason. It's the canary in the coal mine, as Colmenares makes the second one, and the Venezuelans extend their lead.
I think this is their largest lead of the game.
Yes,
5
it
points.
is. Yes, it is. And a foul quickly on, let's see. It is on Miguel Ruiz.
Yeah, Ruiz trying to stay with Olynyk there.
And Colmenares quickly gives him a tongue lashing. Unnecessary foul, and that's a third by Venezuela. Graterol, no, it's going to be Grillito Vargas. Grillito, Carlos, that's a diminutive. Grillo is cricket. Grillito is little cricket.
Right.
Where's that nickname come from?
Well, there was a player with his, from the Dominican Republic with exactly his name.
And as you say, a baseball player.
What do you mean?
As Guillent drives left. And the floater by Grillito, and he misses.
No, Jose Grillo Vargas, a basketball player that used to play for the Dominican Republic, used to play in Venezuela. And then when he came as a rookie, and
Heissler with a three. Beautiful.
When
early offense.
Jose Vargas came into the league as a rookie in the Venezuelan league. Jose Grillo Vargas was getting out. He was a veteran. So they call him Grillito.
Little cricket.
Yeah.
As Lewis misses the shot. Ejim. Inside out. Heissler again. All alone.
Come on. Oh.
Misses. Put back by Ejim. And that's Canadian basketball right now. And that is why Nestor Garcia is going to call a timeout. The aspirated S's and some of the expressions that these kids can relate to. Motion offense. Guillent driven left. Again being driven left smartly by Ejim. He's got to shoot with 3 seconds.
Yeah,
He draws iron, but
defense.
the rebound is in the hands of Aaron Dornekamp.
Great defense by Canada there.
Inside to Ejim. And the ball is handled by Gregory Vargas with his foot on the line. A lot of contact on that shot by Ejim.
So 14 seconds on the shot clock now for Canada to try to take back the lead.
You know, French Canadians can pronounce and spell repechage. It's a French word. But this Canadian team does not want to have anything to do with
that, right?
They need to win this game. Only the winners of tonight's 2 games go directly to
good
Rio.
defense by Graterol, but they say he fouled him.
He did. So far, the whistle has been lenient. I think they've allowed a little bit more contact. As Rowan Barrett on the right of your screen, and Steve Nash, assistant GM and GM of the Canadian team, are watching nervously.
He stayed in front of Olynyk. He just tipped his forearm at the end.
Olynyk making the free throw. A one-man offense here. Olynyk coming into this game, shooting 75% from the free throw line. And tonight, Kelly has made all 5 free throws. Jinxed him.
He's got 26 points already. And Canada takes back the lead by 1.
Oh, a little confusion. Guillent is all alone. Venezuela didn't see him. 10 to shoot, and the Venezuelans are not even starting their offense on purpose. Cox. Colmenares cut in. 3 seconds. And a foul on the three-point shooter by Melvin Ejim. Three shots.
Wow. Talk about a bad foul. And he committed the foul. Even though he's arguing about it, he just committed the foul. See, that's when players tend to miss or lose a little bit of
focus.
Yeah, and credibility with the referees, because that was a clear foul. Why do you argue that one? Yeah, save your bullets.
Don't cry wolf.
Yeah.
Graterol coming into this game tonight, a 57% free throw shooter. Not known as a three-point shooter. I mean, we talked about the 3 he's made and the deal with the devil. I'm not kidding here. In the Venezuelan League, he did not make a three-pointer in 47 games.
That's right.
Under coach Nestor Garcia. He's got 3 tonight.
Yep. And
He sold the soul.
he's been hitting them throughout the tournament. He had 2 against Puerto Rico, as a matter of fact.
And we should be honest, Carlos. The fact is, we spoke to Javi Vargas, and he told us that it's been a point of emphasis for Nestor in the 3 months he's been with the team to get the bigs to practice their three-point shooting. He said, don't worry about making them. Just practice them.
He's been doing a good job out of it.
Nicholson on the court, and there's a little foul underneath, and it's on Gregory Vargas.
Or a little because you're not Darningham. He's looking at the referee like, hey, come on, man.
Fouls on Gregory, and that's Gregory's 3rd.
But the foul is it's supposed to be called on Gregory fouling Olynyk. That's why the referee said.
So,
although Darningham had the worst of that contact there.
yep, Kelly will go to the line. Speaking of being perfect from the line, he's on the bench right now. He missed 3 threes, and he hasn't been back, Carlos, and that's Nick Stauskas. He's got a perfect ledger in Mexico, shooting free throws, 25 for 25. Olynyk picks up a new streak.
Stauskas and Heissler, they have been, platooning at that shooting guard or small forward position.
It's great to see them both together on the court. It's been great.
Of course, when they play together, pick your poison.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. As the free throws give Canada the lead. Colmenares driving, loses the ball.
Good hands by Nicholson.
Heissler against Guillent. Hesitation move, going left. A little difficulty on the left-handed handle.
Good patience
Inside
by
to Nicholson, and he dunks it.
Great patience by the Canadians there.
Very tough pass. Only a point guard could have made that pass.
See, when they saw the switch, they didn't try to force the ball into Nicholson. They just passed the ball to the wing. The wing waited for Nicholson to get position, and then they hit it with a pass.
Learning how to play half-court basketball here with new teammates in FIBA basketball against a team you don't know very well. Guillent moving left. Makes the three-pointer.
Wow, he tied the game again.
Tied the game at 58,
wow.
Just like that.
This is a great game, Alvaro. I'm having so much fun with this game.
I'm not sure Jay Triano or Nestor Garcia are having so much fun.
I think Nestor is. I mean, Triano thinks that he's in the dogfight that he shouldn't be in.
Nicholson. Inside.
Nice
a block by Graterol, but a basket by Nicholson.
Remember, this Canadian team beat Venezuela by 20 in the second round. Oh, bad pass. That's a bad pass.
But it back in the hands of Colmenares. He shoots at the last second. That's the end of the quarter. The Canadians finish up top with that dunk by Nicholson, 60-58. Colmenares with a high pick for Cox. Uses the screen, but misses the shot, and Olynyk gets himself another one.
And he's going to bring the ball down court.
Why not?
Because of that, yeah.
3-on-1. Back to Cox, and he finishes against Dornicamp, the only Canadian to make it back on time. And he tied the game at 60. Alongside former Puerto Rico national team head coach Carlos Morales, I am Alvaro Martin. This is the first of 2 wonderful games that we have. Dornicamp holding his stomach. He's been hammered. But now he recovers to drive to the basket and lay it in.
Yeah.
Upset at getting hit without any kind of a call. He's holding his ribs.
So that's the way to try to get back at the guy who hit him and supposedly got away with it because he was able to score on him right away.
Going left. Over to Guillent.
Oh, 2 seconds.
Oh, my goodness. Here comes Guillent. Grazes the rim. Olynyk with yet another board. They're going out of style.
And the foul by Guillent on Dornicamp is to stop the fast break.
Yeah, Olynyk right now, Carlos, all well into his double-double with 28 points and 11 boards.
The Vargas brothers are back in the game.
The one category I told you that Venezuela was winning because of the shooting percentages, points off turnovers, +6.
Yeah.
Story of the game right now, beyond the Venezuelan defense and pace. Joseph on the bench for Canada with 3 fouls.
Wiggins is also on the bench. He has been for a long time now.
And he does not have foul trouble, as we see Heissler penetrate and shoot against the beast.
Yeah.
He's feeling comfortable more and more as the game goes on.
They took the three-pointer away from him in that possession, but he was able to drive to the basket.
Screen by Colmenares. Got that all with a drive. Everybody's bunched up, and he makes the basket. The runner.
The floater.
Cuts down the Canadian lead back to 2.
And
Pressure
now,
off the inbound.
Yeah, man-to-man, full court pressure by the Venezuelans.
Little dummy press.
Yeah,
they go back into the half-court defense.
Jose Vargas knows that a scrub is too quick for him to stay with him one-on-one there.
Foul by Colmenares on Olynyk.
That's his second.
Wiggins does not have a foul, as Joseph will come back in the game. Do you sense that he's playing out of control?
Nope, not at all.
Doesn't seem to be injured. More shuffling by the Venezuelans. Here comes Miguel Ruiz. Colmenares will take a well-deserved rest. Colmenares with 5 points and 3 boards.
He's telling his coach, I only have 2 fouls. There are 8 minutes to go in the game. I'm rested. I'm not tired. I said, no, come on, have a seat.
It's not like going for the gold tomorrow doesn't mean anything, Carlos, but just getting to the Olympics is it. That's the business end of this tournament.
Yes, that's why I opened this broadcast saying that this is the most important day of FIBA 2015 Olympic qualifier.
Oh! A miss by Heissler. Oh, he almost moved the pivot foot. Grillito Vargas, 9 to shoot.
He's asking for Ruiz to come and set the screen
with 5 seconds. The pop, it's in for Gregory.
We're tied
at 64.
Once again. And here comes Joseph.
Trying to get some early offense, and he gets an early foul.
Yeah, that's the 13th foul by the Venezuelans in this quarter.
And if it's Vargas, it's his 4th. Yes, indeed. That's trouble for Venezuela. Guy who just made that shot committed his 4th foul on the other end, and Guillent has to come in. Gregory will be playing for Maccabi Haifa in the Super League, in the Winter League in Israel. Nice screen by Nicholson, and Corey Joseph can't take advantage of it. The ball goes out of bounds. It belongs to the Canadians. 14 seconds to shoot. We've talked about it before. We'll do it again, Carlos. The 14-second offense. You have to prepare for 24-second possessions and 14-second.
Yeah.
Because the clock is reset at 14. Squeeze the most out of a 40-minute game. Nice. Kelly Olynyk, fouled by Vargas. They're experts at the inbounds play under your own basket.
And he fouled him.
A specialty of the house.
Again, Vargas with a reaction that is not granted. I mean, if you commit a foul, don't try to make the referees look bad.
You actually earn your next call by raising your hand and nodding. Makes sure he continues. He's a machine today. He does have 5 turnovers. He has 1 assist. 30 points now and 11 boards.
And Wiggins back in the game with 6:49 to go.
Dornicamp will take a seat. Dornicamp gave Canada some good minutes.
That he did.
He took a shot to the ribs too. He can finally address that. He's been grimacing since he took that shot. Screen by Vargas.
Oh, he was able to go right.
Takes a tough shot. And Miguel Ruiz mistimed his jump. Nicholson gets a rebound. Wiggins on the wing. Long 3 by Andrew Nicholson. An early one. And the foul, I believe it's going to be either Olynyk's or Joseph's. Let's see.
Olynyk was holding Gratiro's hand. And he did it right in front of referee Mercedes.
It is Kelly's, and that is his 3rd. The team's 2nd in the quarter. make that the first in the quarter. Venezuela dangerously now, Carlos. They're going to put the Canadians on the line with a lot of time left.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a little issue for Canada. I'm sorry, for Venezuela. Left-handed drive by Joseph. Somebody forgot. He gets the bucket and the foul. You cannot let that happen.
And then he went on
Joseph is a little hurt.
Yeah, he went on a straight line to the basket there.
Stretches himself out.
See, Cox and Ruiz, they ran into each other. So nobody helped on that drive by Joseph.
And then any contact of any human being against Windy Graterol will make that other human being sprawl out to the ground. And that's exactly what happened. He fell awkwardly on his right arm.
With almost 6 minutes to go in the game, Venezuela is already in the penalty.
This could be huge for the game and for the Canadians if they take advantage of it.
Canada with only one team foul.
The Canadians from the free throw line coming into this game, 77%, which by the standards of this tournament is above average. And he completes the three-point play, and it's back to a 5-point Canada lead. Critical moments here for Venezuela on both ends of the court.
You're right about that.
Guillent back to Vargas, launches a three over Olynyk. Rebounded by Wiggins, and he's stripped by Grillito inside to Bestia Colmenares, blocking a foul by Wiggins. Even when Wiggins fouls, there's an economy of movement, Carlos.
Yes, that's right. But he looked a lot like he had a lot of ball there. Let's see. Well, he got his arm too.
And again, look at his reaction after the call. He's disappointed, but he won't make any of it. He won't make any of it. That's a sign of even veterans in this FIBA game don't fully understand and have incorporated that into their arsenal. This young kid has it already.
Yeah, that's
it's
part
his
of
demeanor.
His demeanor already.
His demeanor.
Yeah.
Colmenares.
So he reacts like a veteran should.
Yes.
Even though he's only 20 years old.
And is he going to get calls? You tell me. Between his skill and that attitude, he's going to get a lot of FIBA calls. Canadians want him to get 15 years worth.
Of course. And baskets.
Colmenares misses both. But there's a foul, and it is on.
No, somebody
jumped the line?
Yeah, Nicholson got in there earlier than he was supposed to. So another opportunity for Colmenares maybe to miss another one.
He has only missed 1 of 4 in this game. La Bestia plays for Cocodrilos de Caracas, the Caracas Crocodiles. There aren't many in Caracas, Carlos.
I haven't seen any.
But they all play basketball. It's a 4-point Canadian lead.
Nice duck in by Nicholson there.
And beautiful shot by Nicholson.
He wasn't going to be denied there. He ducked in right when Olynyk got the ball, and Olynyk took his time to get him the ball.
And we've talked about this earlier in the tournament. Nicholson has a quality about his demeanor himself that calms his team down in situations like these. It's actually a smart move to get him on the court right now for Canada.
Right.
Backdoor. Guillent, a little bit too much in that shot, but he got fouled, so he'll go to the line.
Wiggins does not agree with that call. He thinks he missed Guillent altogether.
He may have a point.
Yeah.
Vargas will take a seat. Graterol will come in. And Guillent will go to the line. This young man had a knee and hamstring issues before coming here. Plays for Trotamundo in Carabobo, which is a state to the west of Caracas, where Valencia, the second largest city, is, and that they play in Valencia. And it's one of the powerhouses in Venezuelan basketball. In this team, there are 4 players: Luis, Ruiz, Javi Vargas, and David Guillent. So essentially your starting squad is here for the national team.
Right.
The world travelers of Carabobo.
Well, Ruiz and Vargas, Javi, they don't see much playing time there because, remember, they also have 3 foreigners that can't play in the starting 5.
Joseph Now being guarded by Guillent. Heissler had a window, but it's shut quickly by Guillent. 5 to shoot. Step back shot by Joseph. And the rebound in the hands of Guillent.
And they can run if they want to.
2-on-2. He challenges Joseph. He misses the shot, but here's Colmenares, the beast, to put the trash in its place. And it's now a 1-point Canadian lead. Make that a 3-point Canadian lead. Nicholson. Blocked and fouled, and he still makes the basket.
Yeah, Colmenares tried to gamble there, trying to get the ball away from him, and that took him out of position. The best thing that you can do against a very good player in the post is try to stay between him and the basket. When he went for the steal, he gave the inside position to Nicholson.
And that smile, that clap of the hands, Carlos, is about as much emotion as you get from Andrew Nicholson.
That's right.
He has now scored 8 and has got 2 rebounds in a little bit under 11 minutes of play. 5-point Canadian lead.
We're in the last 4 minutes of the game, and what a game it has been.
Well, the definition of clutch, right?
Yep.
Last 5 minutes of the game in overtime within 5 points. In Venezuela, they call that La Chiquita, the tight one. Oh, no way to pass there, and the ball goes out of bounds, but deflected by Canada. 5 seconds to shoot for Venezuela. He's asking Guillent if he wants to be subbed, and I think the answer was yes, because quickly Vargas will come in. He said something about, do you want to rest a minute? And there was a little nod that we missed, and quickly Gregory jumped off the bench. 5 seconds to shoot here. Got that old drive, step back shot.
Wow.
Wow.
Not even close there.
I think calling that a brick may be insulting bricks worldwide.
The sharpshooter back in the game, Heissler. He's got 10 points for Canada. And Venezuela's sharpshooter coming back in the game, Cox.
John Cox, so far. John has 14 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, a steal. Not known for his defensive prowess. He's been lost a couple of times in this game, but not as often as usual. He's locked in today, as is everybody who's playing right now on the court. Heissler can barely get the pass off. 8 to shoot.
They want to get the ball back down to Nicholson, but they weren't able to do that. So Nicholson said, Olynyk says, why not? 3 minutes to go to the Olympic Games.
We're 3 minutes away from the Olympics.
So right now they're going to run something called either left or one, depending on what their point guard wants to do. And they want to move the ball so that they can get a basket in this possession. But the ball is sticking in the hands of Gregory Vargas too long, I would think.
8 to shoot now. Cox drives into the teeth of the Canadian defense. Graterol will give it to the specialist. Tough shot for Guillent. It's in, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Wow.
It's just incredible. The specialist, they call him the Taylor, and now you know why. Taylor made from Venezuela with love.
My goodness. 2-point game and a low-scoring game. So Venezuela has dominated the tempo of the game. This game has been played at Venezuela's pace. But Canada is still ahead, and they can increase their lead here.
No, rebounded by Graterol, flashing his elbows.
So it's now 2 minutes. Oh, it's a 4-point game, right.
He's going left, and he's fouled by Wiggins. That's
the fourth team foul by Canada.
And it's Andrew's third. Look at this.
Yeah, it was.
He takes it out of his hip, Carlos.
And that was with 1 second left on the shot clock. Canada up by 7 at that moment, and after that they are up by 4.
His shot comes out not over his right shoulder, but a little offline. But he makes them. Cox raises the rim. 2-possession game, less than 2 minutes to go. Scrub loses the handle, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touched by Venezuela.
Yep.
Brady Heissler in the game. With now that two-point guard.
They had the 2-point guards. And
Right.
now Heissler
It
comes
ends
in.
now with Scrub taking a seat.
You see, what Jay Triano wants to do now is to have Heissler outside so that they won't be able to help that motion on those passes inside or that dribble penetration by Wiggins.
10 seconds to shoot. Wiggins, no good. Rebounded by Colmenares. You know, I don't remember seeing a team up by 4 so frustrated as the Canadians.
Yes, so tight.
They're up. Going left, hesitating. Inside to Colmenares for the easy layup, but he misses it.
Graterol was the one that missed.
Graterol. Cox, open shot. Guillent resets now. Bang! 1-point game. You know, look at Nestor Garcia. He's being told by referee Garcia from saying to keep it quiet.
I can't believe this.
As we have a slip in midcourt by Olynyk. The ball's loose and a foul.
And it's
It'll
Olynyk.
belong to Venezuela.
Olynyk held out somebody's leg.
And Jay Triano's been complaining about slippage in the decals.
Yeah.
Just looks away like not now, not another one.
Well, you know what? That was Canada's 15th foul. So Guillent to the free throw line with a chance to give Venezuela the lead with 1 minute to go.
Rowan Barrett to the right of your screen, former teammate in the national team with Steve Nash.
Look at that.
Look at the bench. 30 million Venezuelans are beside themselves right now. Venezuela considered to be a baseball country, but trust us from personal experience, Carlos, you and I know that
They are crazy about their basketball.
and they're incredibly passionate, very passionate.
Yeah, and crazy about their basketball.
And I can tell you right now, with eyes closed, the country is hopping happily as the game is tied and Guillent has a chance to put their team in the lead with just over a minute to go.
And now the Mexicans are rooting for Venezuela.
Do you blame them? Timeout, Triano. And the Mexican crowd now is openly cheering for the Venezuelans, booing the Canadians. Hard cut, inside,
Great
beautiful pass
Great
by
pass
Wiggins. What a pass. And we have a Venezuelan player limping, and that's Gregory Vargas. As Phil Scrub checks in for Canada.
And Cox, John Cox is going to go in. Maybe for Gregory. No, for Grillito, for Jose Vargas.
So now Gregory simply relaces his right shoe, which is the one that's giving him trouble, his foot.
So 2-point guards in the squad now, in the roster out there for Venezuela. And 2 big guys and their main offensive weapon usually, which is John Cox.
And Wiggins will take a seat for the moment. I think he's going to be subbed in and out, specifically for offense.
It's a good matchup here. Cody Joseph forcing Guillent to go to his left.
Almost loses the dribble. Drives right on the hesitation. Tough shot. It's in! Venezuela takes the lead with 36 seconds to go. Substitutions though, and I think Wiggins will be coming right back in. Yes, indeed.
And Garcia is asking for a foul. He thought that Guillent was fouled when he drove to the basket there.
Substitution, no timeout. I think the table was a little confused with Triano. And now the Venezuelans don't want a timeout. We have a substitution. They need to get the next break. So a little confusion on the part of everyone here.
They just wanted to stop the clock for a substitution, which is legal in FIBA for the last 4 or 5 years. They instituted this rule. And everybody thought that it was the Triano was asking for the timeout.
Caco Solórzano, the assistant coach, asking for the Mexican crowd to get into it against the Canadians. If Mexico wins and Venezuela wins, the Mexicans will be facing the Vino Tintos. There's a foul, untimely foul from Nestor Colmenares. Venezuela, of course, if both teams reached the limit, and Nicholson just took the worst of it.
Nicholson was pushed to the floor there by Colmenares, no doubt about it. Venezuela's arguing the call, but that was the right call.
Let's just say that Nicholson didn't make an effort to keep upright. That was a smart move.
Yeah,
Very smart move. That was a foul.
He got fouled. And now the crowd trying to make Nicholson miss.
And he misses the first. The Venezuelan players now openly lobbying for support. They need to worry about the Canadians.
Right. But see, if Nicholson makes this one, Venezuela can play for the last shot of the game without much pressure because the game will be tight. They won't be down.
Timeout.
If the ball gets to Graterol or Colmenares, I might think about fouling.
After inbound, they do.
And they denied the ball to Guillent, and now he's got it.
This is the man that makes those crazy shots, Heissler Guillent. Venezuela trying to make history.
And Corey Joseph is going to force him left. He won't allow that pick and roll to come and be set.
The crowd stands up.
Well, no pick and roll now.
Almost loses the dribble. 4 seconds. Step back shot. Offline. We're going to overtime. Overtime in Mexico. There's a little discussion with the referees. It's a foul.
There's a foul
A
there.
foul.
But they're going to review it. They're going to review it.
The Canadians holding their heads like they cannot believe it.
They're going to review if the foul came
Before
or after the buzzer.
Did you see that foul call earlier? Did you see one referee call it and the other one not?
No,
I missed that.
No, I didn't. I saw that the referee Garcia wanted to tell something to Mercedes, which was, I have a foul. But now they have to check if it was committed before or after the game. The game clock expired.
As Nestor Garcia also does the sign of the cross multiple times. So, Carlos, basketball has spiritual benefits.
Man, this is a call.
There's a lot on the line here.
This is a call to
end all calls.
To give two free throws to one of our players. I don't know who.
With 10 seconds in the game.
With nothing in the game left. Nothing left in the game.
Here we go. Conversations between Reynaldo Mercedes and referee Garcia. Juan Garcia from Spain. Mercedes is the crew chief. Here we go. Hold your breath.
There's a foul. There's a foul.
Shots. 2 shots for Venezuela.
So you make one, you're in the Olympics.
Triano wants the timeout. Triano.
They're going to put 3 seconds on the clock. 3 seconds.
3 seconds on the shot. Let's see. Do you see any referee calling a foul here? I can't tell at the moment.
3 seconds when the foul was committed.
It's almost like they huddled after the end of the clock expired, and then they said, there was a foul there, but I didn't see Garcia call that foul. It's Carmelo Cortez, the Federation president for Venezuela.
And Gregory Vargas to the free throw line.
And today, Gregory, he's got that little hindrance in his ankle, has made both his free throws. Coming into this game, Gregory has made 87% of his free throws.
3/10 of a second, Alvaro. 3/10 of a second. Whoa!
Venezuela breaks the tie.
And they want everybody back.
And guard the Canadian long-range shooter with only 3 seconds to go. And I'm surprised. I see Scrub. Would you have any different personnel if you're Canada at this point? Would you have Heslip? Would you have Stauskas?
It's 3 seconds. Now
a miss on purpose. The game is over. Venezuela, for the first time in 16 years.
No, more than that. 1992.
24 years will make the Olympics.